So, hey everyone. Uh, Today is an odd subject that I want to talk about. Life after divorce. I was married back in India, and then I got a divorce, complete legal separation, and then I came to UK. Um, but yeah, my experience with marriage was different. That's a whole another story. I don't want to get into that because that is personalized to everyone, depending on the two people who are in the marriage. Then you have your family and all of the others. But my divorce was a mutual divorce. We both agreed after 1.5 years that we want to get separated and proper mutually divorce. 1 year, and then the divorce took 6 months. This happened in India. We went for a mutual divorce. It was a lot less expensive. Uh, what my lawyer suggested then was, you know what, get yourself get each other to convince that you both want a divorce instead of going into contested, because that's a lot less messier. If it's not an option and you cannot deal with it, only then go for contested. But if it's between the two partners and not much families involved, I think you can go for a mutual one. Try that. Other than that, what does the divorce do to me? Yeah, cigarette smoking. uh, this this used to happen. I was smoking long back tobacco, long back ages ago, but this intensified it. How did I deal with it? During the divorce, I got myself counseling sessions. I dealt with the kind of abuse that I had during my marriage through those counseling sessions, which how many ever I could afford basically. But I did take that help. Other than that, I did get my own lawyer. No matter if the other person's saying that you should, I'm going to get my own lawyer, or I'm going to talk to my friend or whatever. Do not do that. Get your own lawyer, get your own legal aid advice, solicitor, whatever you want to call it, attorney, uh, in whichever country you're from. Get your own legal help first, advice, and don't just go for the first one. Call up a few people and see if they match with you, because like your doctor, your lawyer is going to be the one person who's going to uh, who is definitely going, you're going to have to be very honest with them, and you need them on your side. I don't know how it goes in different countries, but lawyers do have some kind of association sometimes where they bribe each other, whatever, to drag the case more. All that shit happens. I don't know where it happens in whichever country. I've heard of it a lot in multiple countries, not pinpointing anything, and that is something that no one in the system can help. You cannot do much about it. The way you can prevent yourself from getting harmed by it is making sure your lawyer, your legal aid, is someone you know and someone you trust. And I would prefer them not to be from your family or friends or extended family until unless you really trust them, because they will try to project their bias. So try to get someone outside your known circle for yourself. But yeah, you need to call them up and you need to see how first 2 3 consultations are going with them. And usually consultations are free, so do talk to a lot of lawyers if not, and get the advice, and stick to the lawyer which is giving you the most practical advice within your budget as well, because divorces are fucking expensive, really expensive. So yeah, do that if nothing. Other than that, what else can you do? If you have kids, there are mediation sessions arranged by the court. Some of them are arranged outside the court by the lawyers themselves. If you're not satisfied with your lawyer or the other person, you can just get a mediation session from the court where your custody, children's custody, and all of that is discussed. Not in front of the public, but in a private place where you can decide what to do, how to go about it, how are you going to split your assets, who's going to take the custody of children, how is it going to be. Because there are a lot of things to consider when you're breaking up a marriage, right? Even when we break up with someone, it's so much stuff, and it's so much of emotional chaos and drama that you have to deal with. Imagine a marriage. That would be even worse in many ways. Even if you were married for what, 2 months, 3 months, getting an annulment done is also a big process, man. So yeah, before you get into all of that legal shit, make sure your head is sorted, your personal life is sorted, your mental health is sorted. Um, and yeah, no matter how big of a backbone or spine you have, ask for help. I learned it the hard way. I'm still learning it the very hard way. Ask for help. And ask in a very nice way, please, because you're asking for help. If you're frustrated, people will excuse it once or twice, yes, but it's gonna take a toll on them too. So ask for professional help. Don't go to your friends. Definitely go to your friends and family and all. But if you need a therapist, go to a proper counselor who is willing to, who has dealt with these kind of cases before, and they can guide you in the correct way. Uh, that's about how to get about your divorce. During the legal proceedings, you know what? Everyone's going to scare you about a lot of shit. Like, good people or good citizens don't go to court, they don't go to police stations, they don't do this, they don't do that, we don't get divorced, and all of that. Emotional pressure is going to be there. But if you've decided that you don't want to be with that person, stick to it. And people are going to try a lot of emotional blackmail. They're going to try to tug on your buttons, pull your strings so that you don't leave them, because they might lose a lot more than what you think, what you might lose. So, in those scenarios, also, please make sure you stick to your decision, because if you are unsure about your decision, the people who are supporting you, they will, they will be undecided as to why you so conflicted. If you've not decided, then we are not going to help you. That is something that can come from them, and this can come from professional help as well. So you need to know what you're getting into. You need to know what you're getting into before you got married, actually. But hey, to avoid all of this, get a prenuptial contracts. In many countries, they are legal. If they are not legal, you can get a post-nuptial contract in countries where the next contract is superseding than the previous one in legal terms. So, like, I know for a fact in India, so if you've got a prenup, then you've gotten married, your marriage certificate will overpower your prenup, because that contract was signed on the same terms and everything, but later on, apparently with the same authority as well. So yeah, now you can, in India, you have the option to get a post-nup or post-nuptial contracts. Get those. You have contracts when you're getting pregnant also. Divide your assets way before. I know you might have a love marriage, arranged marriage, mixed race. I don't give a fuck. Sort out your finances first. Keep your finances separate from your partners. Have something for yourself. Even if you're not working, make sure you have something always, and that is yours. Yours. You don't need to share that information with anyone. If you trust your partner, share it. And if you don't trust your partner, don't share it. It's as simple as that. You don't have to trust your partner with everything. It's as simple as that. Because they've had a life before you. And time tells it they will have a life after you as well. What if you don't get a divorce? What if you pass away? You think they're just going to be stuck with you? With your memories? No. They will move on, right? And it's okay. They're allowed to. So, in those kind of scenarios, which are very bitter, which we don't think of, you don't have to, but if you need to, think it through completely. Because you can go half-assed, you can start half-assed. You'll have a lot of time. But once you've reached, your 60% work is done, 70% work is done, then you're gonna have to get on the legal side of it, get to know the terms. If nothing, you need to know what's gonna happen in the court. What do you have to say? What do you not have to say? There are so many things. How do you have to dress up? My gosh, that's a whole another story as well. How do you dress up is also very important. I know it sounds very superficial, but you're trying to impress a crowd of 20 people. I don't know how divorces go in other civil divorces. Usually we have one one judge in India who takes care of it, and if it gets complicated, then there are other people who are involved. I don't know how it happens everywhere else. I know that that's how it worked there in that particular court as well. I don't know if it works separately on it was a district court where I got my civil divorce. It can be a high court, it can be a supreme court. Again, different rules. So you got to know what you're getting into. If you're going for a hearing, if you're going for even like a mediation session, Google it before, YouTube before, you know what happens in a mediation session. If you don't want to use technology, talk to your lawyers. What is going to happen in this session? What are they going to ask me? Can you prepare me for it? They do mock-up interviews as well if you are really scared, because some people are really afraid to talk in front of authority. Example, me. I am scared to talk in front of authority people. I am scared to talk in front of people who intimidate me. But I guess we just have to get our own courage and do it. So I just build up my courage and I do it. And so that's how you go about any difficult situation, let it be anything. But I am specifically talking about a divorce because you know what, fighting everyone else, outsiders, your enemies, your frenemies, your arch enemies, who else, random people on the street, it's very easy. Fighting the system, fighting the authority, that is also, it's difficult, but it is doable. Fighting with your own loved ones, it's brutal, it's cruel, it's evil. You have to get stuff out, talk about stuff that you thought you would never have to, or they would, and you would have to listen to it. That's bitter. That takes a different emotional toll on you, and it's not similar to a breakup. It's a lot more than a breakup, because when you're going into a marriage, you know what you're going into. Expectations are set no matter what. If not, by the government, that whoever is certifying your marriage, expectations are set. And getting out of all of those expectations, trying to make sure you don't fulfill all those expectations when you're getting a divorce, that's a whole different 180 spin that you need to take mentally. And for that, you need a lot more courage. You need a lot more brains. And if you don't have brains, it's okay. Get other people who have a lot bigger brain than you and ask them. But go through it in a way that you're gonna come out with something in the end. Don't come out empty-handed. Come out with something. If nothing, come out with pride, with courage, with self-esteem. And what do you do after your divorce or when you're going through the separation? Try to move on. I'm not saying get back into dating, but go talk to people, socialize. Because a marriage, a divorce, a relationship, when you're in it, you're constricted. Not gonna lie, it happens and it's okay, it happens. It's a good thing that it happens when you're in a relationship. Because then that relationship will not mean anything if you're doing separate things again, right? All the time. And you're not connected. That's also not a marriage worth living. So if it happens in a marriage, good. But when you're going through the divorce, you're gonna have to break all those habits too. You're gonna have to get used to not being them around, even if they were annoying. You know how weird that is, to not have someone who annoys you around you all the time. It's very weird. And I think they're called graduation gargles or whatever. It's a colloquial term. You feel very bad when you're leaving a high school, even though your high school was horrible. And you wanted to, but on the day of, your last day, you do shed tears. Divorce is kind of like that, but much more intense. So if you're going through it, freaking prepare yourself in every way possible. Then get into it. And if you can't stall, man, stall for a bit, but don't change your mind. Alright? And enjoy, take care.